Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? When I was trying to get this podcast off the ground, I had a lot of questions. How do I record an episode? How do I get my show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all other places people like to listen? How do I make money from my podcast? The answer to every one of these questions is really simple. Anchor. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. Best of all, it's 100% free and ridiculously easy to use. And now, Anchor can match you with great sponsors too, so you can get paid to podcasts. So if you've always wanted to start a podcast and make money doing it, go to anchor.fm/start. That's anchor.fm/start to join me and the diverse community of podcasters already using Anchor. That's anchor.fm/start. I can't wait to hear your podcast. Before I start this episode, I want to say rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. Man, I remember after seeing Black Panther, just the groups of people beaming with pride, wearing their different outfits, finally seeing themselves represented on the big screen and in a superhero movie. I mean, we definitely need more of that. Chadwick Boseman inspired so many, and he did it with absolute grace while battling cancer. Man, he was a legend. The fact that Chadwick accomplished so much during those years is admirable, yet a reminder that you never know what battles people are going through. I remember when Chadwick was losing weight and people were making fun of him, when in fact he was dying. People are silently fighting daily battles that you don't even know of. If you can't help them, at least pray for them and just be kind. Like I said, you never know what battles people are going through. Rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman.
You are now listening to the Blaze Podcast with your host, Kevin Blaze.
Are you ready?
Join the conversation about music, don't stop, politics, sports, and pop culture.
It's my culture, it's my life.
So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Turn it up.
And now, Kevin Blaze.
Yeah, what's going on? You have reached the Blaze Podcast. I am your host, Kevin Blaze, and today we have Buffalo in the building. She's one of my favorite MCs. She's a Trust Gang affiliate. She has dope projects like Thriller the Hunt 1, 2, Juno, joint with 38 Special, you know what I'm saying? Her latest project, As God Intended, Ché Noir on the podcast. What's going on? Nice to have you on.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Thank you for having me.
No problem, man. First, man, I got introduced to you to, my cousin, man. He was like, yo, have you heard of Ché Noir? I was like, nah, I haven't heard of her. He was like, yo, you need to check her out. So, I did my research and I was like, the first joint I heard from you was where you were rapping off the Band from TV joint.
Mm-hmm.
Off the Thriller the Hunt. And
yep.
I was like, yo, shorty's nice. You know what I'm saying? And, I've been a fan ever since, you know what I'm saying? And then I heard Thriller the Hunt 2 and, Sandcastle's one of my favorite joints. So I just been a fan ever since. So, I just wanted to give you your props, for representing that real hip hop,
Appreciate that.
No doubt. So when did you know you wanted to be in the rap game, and when did you start to take rap serious?
So I would say I've been doing music. I started making beats when I was 15 and I started rapping when I was 16. So if we fast forward to 2014, that's when I put out my first freestyle. I'm 26 now, so
Okay.
that was a few years later. I put out my first freestyle in 2014. I was like 19 at the time, and 19 or 20, one of them. And I got some good feedback from people in the town, so I just kept putting freestyles out. And I ended up putting some money. I built a studio out in South Buffalo at my friend's house, and he became like my engineering kind of like took me in and mentored me kind of early. And we ended up putting a whole tape together. Like we put a tape together. This was like back in 2015. I linked up with Benny. He came out, recorded his verse for the tape. And I put it out, and I was getting a lot of good feedback from it, so I just kept going. And like even the first Thrill of the Hunt, that's an old tape that came out in like 2017. I think it was like 2017. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that came out at like the beginning of 2017, and I ended up just putting that out. That was just a bunch of freestyles I had sitting that I recorded over the years. I just ended up putting it out because I had the Buffalo State of Mind video and ended up going viral on Facebook. So I was like, you know what, let me just put something out. And, I just was getting a lot of good feedback in the town just off of freestyles that I was putting out. And once people started, noticing I was making beats and stuff too, like, because I had a lot of my original beats on my first mixtape, I started getting some good feedback. But I was really like, putting out music, and I was putting a lot of footwork in the town too, because I was at a lot of showcases. I had posters all over the hood. Like I was putting a lot of footwork in, so my name was ringing. Even though, more people of course heard, started listening to me as the past year and a half. But I was putting footwork in, so people knew I did music. It just took them a minute to catch on, but yeah, this was like, I would say 2014 is really what jumpstarted the seriousness and when I started investing money into it.
Okay, that's what's up. So I noticed, before I go to the next question, is another joint I want that's dope to me, man. Money Orientated. I love that joint, man. Fire.
That's one of my favorite joints.
Yeah, that's one of mine too, man. Definitely. And Fall of Rome too. Fire.
Oh yeah, Fall of Rome. Yeah, that was the time. I remember that session when I recorded that. That was crazy.
Oh, for real? How was that session recorded? What was the process?
I didn't know, to be honest with you, especially with the beat, I remember I was like, this is like some primo shit. I was like, damn. So, when I went in the studio and I was recording my verse, I was like, man, I don't know how you going to feel about this, but let me just go in. And I could see from, me, and when I was in the recording room, and I looked in, and as I'm recording, he was going crazy.
Right.
So, that session was in that session, I recorded a bunch of songs. I remember that. It was some songs I recorded from Trust Tape 3 in that session. That Fall of Rome session was that was one of the sessions where I recorded mad songs, and
that beat is crazy.
That's how I knew I was nice.
Right.
Say it again?
I said that beat is crazy too.
Man, and it's he always knew I was nice, but he was like, damn, I didn't know you was that nice.
Right.
That's the type of reaction I got. So yeah, that was an experience.
Right. I love the chemistry with you and Spesh. How did y'all link?
Honestly, it's honestly, I sent them a song that I had out. It was a single I put out, the Champion song. Mm-hmm. I put that out, and I sent it to his personal Facebook page, and he ended up getting back to me right away. I sent it back. I didn't have no intentions. I didn't even know my intentions. I just sent them, and I was just like, I even if he could just give me some feedback and some advice, give me some juice, I'll take that. But as soon as I sent it, he got back and right away. He got back right away, a few minutes later. Right. And told me, he was like, you got to come out, because he was out in Rochester. It's an hour away from where I'm at. So he was like, I need to come. You got to come out here and have a meeting with me. We had a conversation on the phone for half an hour. I drove up there with my cousin, and in that first meeting, he had a whole plan for me. Told me what he was trying to do, how he was trying to bring me in, and wanted me to be a part of, be a part of the family.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what's up, yo. I was watching an interview with you, and you was talking about the struggles you had, coming up. How you took the Greyhound to Atlanta and all of that.
That
was crazy, right?
Man, got booed at the show.
Damn. So
that shit was crazy.
Yeah, I know it's hard work. You know what I'm saying? But
I never gave up though. That's one thing.
Definitely.
My friends and everybody that came up with me, they say you never gave up.
Right. When I first heard you, I was like, man, you said you're 26, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, man, yo, you sound like a seasoned vet. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, wow. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a hip hop head, man, and I like bars, and you definitely have that. Is there any MCs that you're feeling right now? What's in Ché Noir's playlist right now?
Well, of course, that's I like Cole. I do like Cole. I think Cole is dope. I actually been listening to Cole since I was like in high school. I always thought
Oh,
he was nice.
word. Okay.
Yeah, I always thought Cole was nice. He actually one of the nicest ones. I mean, of course, Benny and them.
Right.
It's not really a lot that I listen to because, like, now it's not really a lot of rappers that really been inspire me. But I like Lil Baby. I do fuck with Lil Baby.
Yeah,
I think he
true.
be talking some shit.
Right.
Yeah, I like him. Yeah, it's not really a lot because a lot of them don't really be doing that for me. Like I listen, I don't know. Some people just don't really do it for me. But yeah, like I mean,
Yeah.
I keep it personal. Like, I keep it within the camp. Really, like
Okay.
if they really know, I listen to more upstate music than
Yeah.
anything. But I listen to a lot of like R&B smooth type shit. Like
Right.
that's
Okay.
type
Word. Okay.
Oh yes, I
Oh,
love
wow,
R&B.
wow. What do you like now? Did you catch the verses with Monica and all of that?
Oh yes, that's my era. I grew up in that era. Like
Yeah,
so,
that was
I
epic,
was going
man.
crazy when I was watching that joint. Like I ain't watched the whole thing. I only seen bits and pieces.
Mhm.
I actually went back. They got the playlist on Apple Music.
Yeah.
I played that joint one morning. I was working out.
Oh, word. That's dope.
This
man.
is my type of music. I love that type.
Yeah.
My favorite R&B artist out right now is Snow Allegra. Though I think she is fire.
Yeah, she's
I would
dope.
love to work with her one day. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be dope, man. And I
Yeah.
know everybody's you have to do a song with Rhapsody, man. I mean,
Oh,
it
yes.
just that has to happen, man. I would love that, man. That would be dope. To be honest,
Yeah,
man.
I'm gonna work on that Rhapsody feature. That'll definitely be fire. That's like one of my most anticipated features right
really,
now.
really, that would be crazy.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about Upstate like getting props now? Because y'all running shit right now. To me, y'all got the illest spitters out there right now. How do you feel about Upstate getting their props right now? You know what I'm saying?
It's fire to see it. I was just having a conversation with my friend the other day in the studio. Like, it's funny to see because we young. Like, we're younger than, Benny and all of them. But we've been watching them rap our whole life. Like, I know I've been watching Benny rap since I was a kid. Like, even Spesh. Like, I tell the story all the time about how Spesh was selling out shows. Because I live in the Falls, which is like a 20-minute drive from Buffalo.
Okay.
In the Falls, like, Spesh got a huge fan base out here. He sold out a show at this club called the Ice House. It's like an old club. It used to be a big spot back in the day, but he sold a show out there, and I remember like I had a fake ID trying to get into that show. Like shit was crazy. Like the whole town came out to see this man. This man sold out at least 3 shows here in the fall. Like
Wow.
it's guaranteed a sold out show if he come and do a show here in the fall. That's how big his fan base is here. And this was before this upstate movement, before y'all even heard about upstate. Like this was back. Like when Spesh did this show at the Ice House, this was like 2012.
Mm-hmm.
This was 2012. Like I had a fake ID trying to get into that show. Couldn't get in. But you hear what I'm saying? Like just that type of that that eagerness of like he got fans up here that want to see him. Like so, like even when they announced that I signed with him, like that was a big deal over here. Like. I was pulling up in certain neighborhoods. They're like, "Yo, you didn't sign with Spesh? That's crazy." Yeah, like he like a Drake out here. But it's dope to see it because I've really been watching these dudes rap forever. Like I came in as far as taking it serious. I came in a little later, but I've been watching them rap pretty much my whole childhood growing up. So it's dope to see. We always knew we had some of the nicest spitters up there. We just didn't have the resources. Like we don't have A&Rs and big record labels up here in upstate. Like they don't come up here. They won't come up here, honestly. So I mean, it's different. It may be a little different now. I don't know. My ear's not really to the showcase scene anymore. But like I know at one point they wasn't coming up here. They was I don't know. I think a lot of it was like fear or whatever. I don't know. But
yeah, I'm bumping Griselda and Fred the Godson. Of course, and the Locks. And that's in my playlist. And you of course. You know what I'm saying. But yeah, man. So I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. What are your thoughts regarding social injustice in America? And do you think it's important for you as an artist, to use a platform in reference to that issue?
Oh yes. I definitely think it's very important. It's to speak on these, just giving your fans some awareness. I'm not saying that you got to go out and be an activist because I feel like that's a job itself.
Right.
And like I said in the interview before, when Mike Powers asked me this, like he asked me was I an activist, I said no, that's something I gotta pray and ask God to lead me into, because I'm not gonna play with people's feelings and play with their lives like that. Because when you in that type of field, you're a leader. Like, you know, you're in the community. If you're an activist, you in some way you looking to lead people. And if you don't have this, if you're not passionate about it, don't waste people's time and get, you know, people involved, kids involved.
Right.
But I do feel like as an artist, it's definitely, I have a way bigger platform than I had last year.
Yeah.
And I've been speaking about issues like this. Like I have like some old songs
on the Freedom Joint. The Freedom Joint. I know you talk.
Yeah,
about that.
like, but I got songs that's older than that. Like, 'cause that's a newer song.
Okay.
I got songs that came out back in 2016 where I'm talking about stuff like this.
Okay.
But I have a bigger platform now, so I was like, I'm gonna use every chance I get. Every album you hear from me, every project, I'm gonna speak on these type of things, because you know, I think it's imperative, being a black woman in this industry and in this world. You definitely have to speak. Being black, period, you have to speak on these type of things. You see the brothers, and then, you know, being from Buffalo, this is something that we've always seen growing up. We always thought it was just like, that's just how they are. Like, you know, we have a lot of racist police officers in the Buffalo Police Department.
Oh.
Yes. Like that whole situation happened when that man got pushed down a couple months ago in front of the City Hall building. That was all over CNN.
Yeah, I've seen
that. This has happened. It's not the first time this has happened. This is the first time it was caught on camera, and now they care because of the climate we're in. But people have died. People I went to school with, a boy I went to school with died in police custody a couple years ago. They still have yet to reopen that case and do some investigating in it.
Damn, man.
So this is stuff that we've been dealing with. Growing up, I always just thought it was normal. Like, you get pulled over, just be quiet, put your seatbelt on, don't say nothing, don't move too much, put your hands on the steering wheel, whatever. Like, this is something that we always thought was normal, but I'm definitely going to use my platform to speak and give my perspective on it.
I love that, man. I love that. So how you dealing with the pandemic and everything? How has that affected you right now?
You know, it's crazy. I think this pandemic has made me sharper in a way. It's when I'm talking about as far as just my drive and my work ethic. Like, even though I've always had it, but it's been 10 times, 20 times more since the quarantine hit, I should say. Like I'm not gonna say in front. We did, like, as a whole, as a group, we've taken some losses. You know, if you look at upstate, we lost Ché, and we lost Fred the Godson. Like, man. And I've had 6 family members that I thought I was gonna lose in the midst of all of this. So, it's made me more spiritual. It's made me mentally sharper, and it's kicked my work ethic up like 10 more levels. I've been working every day. I was always working, but as far as being in the studio, recording, shooting videos, you know, just strategizing, I'm sharper. I'm way sharper. I don't know. It's weird how pandemic did that for me. Right.
Yeah, man. It's crazy, man. Do you remember the first album you ever copped?
Oh man, the first album. Honestly, I was like stealing albums from my cousins and my mom. Like I wasn't, but as far as like buying albums, I think the first album I really bought was like a Lil Wayne album, because Lil Wayne was like real big when I was coming up. I think it might have been a Carter. It was either Carter 2 or Carter 3, one of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think that was the first album that I actually purchased. But I used to steal CDs from like my boy cousin. I used to be at my aunt's house a lot. Like, my aunt's house is like you know how granny house is growing up. Like, that was where I went. All my cousins over there. It was about 10, 15 of us in the house. Like, I used to steal their CDs and listen to their shit. Like, you know, I had the little CD player. You had to carry the big one with you or whatever. Like, I used to steal their shit and take it around with me. Right. So, yeah.
That's dope, man. I love your storytelling, too. And I noticed that on 12 Hours, and I was like, man, like, you just so talented, and you know, you really painted a picture on that joint, man. You really did, man. So,
thanks. Yeah, no, that's storytelling. That's something I got really inspired from. Like, you know, as far as I'm mentioning my top MCs of all time is like Biggie, Nas. You know, they were very vivid. With the imagery, so yeah.
Are all your songs about real feelings and actual things that happen in your life, or?
Yeah. No, that's a fact. Like anything I put is definitely how I feel, rather it's something I did or seen. It's all off of what I witnessed from the time I probably was a young kid all the way up until now. Like, cause I'm still in the middle of all of this, middle of the BS. It's been, this really been kind of, this pandemic has given people, I don't know, I can't even really say the freedom, but they've been going crazy. But I'm still in the middle of all of this, like, as far as the shootings, still around, just a lot of shit. So I'm still able to give that perspective because I'm still in the middle of all of this. Like I'm trying to work my way to get up out of here.
I feel you, man. Do you get intimidated, like being in the stew with like Benny and all of them? Like do you get like nervous or like, what I mean? You like, I gotta go in, I gotta like,
I wouldn't say I don't get nervous. I just be like, I gotta stay sharp around them because like these niggas they don't let up on me at all, and I'm happy they don't. Like they don't let up on me at all. I get on the track, I do a verse, they gonna come with their best shit. They not gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna let off because you're a girl. No. So I gotta come. Definitely, I gotta stay sharp as hell. But yeah.
The joint with Black Thought, Hustle, Don't Give. Like you held your own on that track. Like that verse was crazy. You know what I'm saying? And with Black Thought, I was like, man, you know what I'm saying? And I just want to give you props for that, man, because that's
that was a feature. It's crazy. I said this. I spoke this out like late last year. I said I want to work with Black Thought. That was like I got a bucket list feature. I don't really want to work with a lot of people. It's only like a select few people. I'll be like, okay, once I cross them off, I'm good. Like I can just, I'm all right. But Black Thought was on that list.
Okay, it's dope, man. And Follow the Wisdom with Sky Zoo. That's crazy too.
Yeah,
it's another joint right there.
Yeah,
man.
No, that's a dope track.
Yeah, man. I want to let you know, man. You and Apollo Brown, y'all made something special. Definitely one of the best projects this year. That's a fact.
I appreciate that. I feel that same way too. I'm like, this is definitely like that feel. But it took some months for me to get a little confident about the album because when I first did it,
really,
like I think I was thinking too much into it, and I just went in the studio, recorded it. I stopped listening to it. Like Apollo told me, don't listen to it until I give you the final version back. So it's like you listening to it too much. That's why you feel that way. When I got it back, he was like, "No, this is it." And I went like a month and a half without listening to it, and I listened to it again when he sent me the final version before we announced it. And I was like, "Yo, this is crazy."
Crazy, right?
I did my thing on this shit, man. I did my thing.
Yeah, man, that's dope, man. What is your biggest failure, and what did you learn from it?
Oh, my biggest failure. I mean, I would just say like the losses that I took with like money and traveling, like just trying to get my name out. Like that trip I took to Atlanta, like I did. I think the biggest lesson I learned, I cannot depend on people. Like when it comes to my dreams and my visions, can't expect other people to see my vision and chase my dreams. So, because I got let down a bunch of times like that. Like that whole reason why I ended up having to take a bus 25-hour ride by myself up there, down there, because the person I was supposed to go with canceled on me last minute.
Damn.
And I was depending on this person for everything. So I was like, you know what? Once I went there, went through all that shit and got back home, I was like, nah, I'm not depending on nobody else. I'm doing this shit myself. If I gotta take trips by myself, that's just what it is. That's just what I'm gonna have to do. Like, can't depend on people no more. I didn't have issues getting into, I didn't put money into studios that then got fucked up because I didn't put trust in people that wasn't as serious as I was. So, I think that's just really what it is. Like for me, I look at it like I'm gonna do what I gotta do now. Them people they'll catch up later. Like once they see that, I'm serious and I ain't stopping with this shit. Sometimes that motivates some people, and then some people just don't. They just don't have the work ethic. Like they don't have the drive, with me. So I can't be you can't be in my circle if you're not really trying to. If your work ethic ain't on the same level or at least a level above mine.
Right.
Because I need motivation too. Like that's why I love Fetch, because Specials in the studio every single day. That's what inspired me. Like, he'll tell you, when I first started coming around him, I wasn't in the studio every day.
No.
I could rap. I had records, but I wasn't in the studio every day. Like, he's the one who told me, you got to record something every day. You got to have music.
Yeah,
I remember he texted me and told me, like, you don't have enough music. Like, so that's just something, like, just not dependent on people.
Right. Did you ever write something that Special was like, nah, I ain't feeling that? You know what I mean? Like, you gotta go rewrite that.
Yep. Hell yeah, this was the first verse I gave to him, actually.
Really?
Hell yeah. He told me that. He's like, I feel like you can go harder than that. You got to rewrite that. You got to come better than that.
Right. Well, that's good to have people around you that's honest with you instead of lying.
Oh, yeah.
Like, yo, that's just fire. You know, shit whack.
Yeah, nah. My homie Miles, he like that. Like, he gonna tell me if I can go. Like, it's a couple tracks I had to rewrite on As God Intended, like verses, I would say. He's like, nah, you can go harder than that. He gonna keep it a buck. Like, I know off his reaction if he really fuck with it or not.
Oh.
But he one of them ones, he gonna keep it a buck. He ain't finna hype me up, none of that. Like,
right.
You gotta rewrite that. Now, when it's fire, he's like, no, that shit's fire. Like, he'll go in, he'll tell me.
Okay. So, do you have any future projects cooking up that we could look out for?
Yeah, I'm Lord's willing, I'm dropping I'm gonna drop an EP again this year, at the end of this year.
Okay.
I got something I'm working on with that. Of course, I got my album, The Essence. That's my solo debut.
Okay.
We started working on that. We got some good stuff cooking for that. That's gonna be like a real album. That's gonna be definitely different from anything y'all heard from me. Like, as far as beat selection, just
right.
It's gonna be an album.
I can't wait. I can't wait to hear that. Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be an album. I'm definitely trying to work with some people. That's why I'm trying to put some projects up. Definitely build that momentum up. But my name is getting out there. It's people reaching out. So I'm like, yeah, it's definitely gonna be a dope. But yeah, I'm a Lord's willing. I'm gonna drop another EP this year.
Okay.
At the end of this year, and then I'm just working really towards my solo debut.
Okay, that's cool, man. We definitely gonna be looking forward to that. And in closing, what would you want your legacy to be?
Man, that's a good question. I just want to, for me, I want to get my hands in as much as God allows me to do, for as long as he has me here. I want to get my hands in a lot of things. Like, I spoke briefly about, like, as far as, I studied film. I went to college. I studied film when I was in college.
Oh, wow.
And,
okay.
Yeah. And that's something I want to get into. Like, it'll take me a few years to really, like, dive into that fully. But I want to get into that. I just want to have really something built for my family.
Right.
Because I'm definitely the first one in the family to ever do some shit like this. So just to create that lane and that platform for girls that was like me at 16, 17 years old and just a fan of the culture,
right,
coming up and with the lane that I'm in, it's not an easy lane to stay in, I should say. Especially, I had people in my ears telling me to be a doc, you got to dress this way, you got to talk this way,
right? And
I still stay true to myself. So I'm looking to create a bigger platform and a lane for girls like that. Because we had it at one point with Lauryn Hill, but it kind of died out, and now it's back to that. And it's nothing wrong with that. It's a lane for everybody. But I just want girls to feel more comfortable in a lane that's for them,
right,
not for everyone else. So just creating that platform, creating that generational wealth for my family, and just, I don't know, just getting my hands in everything that God allows me to get my hands in, like leaving my print on everything. Right. I want to get into the skincare line business.
Oh.
Yeah, these are ideas I cooked up over the years, just on some like chilling nights I may have done with my peoples, and like we're very innovative people, so we're innovative thinkers, I should say. So it's a lot I want to get my hands into, but Lord's willing, I'm able to do that. Yeah. And definitely, like, just create the platform and create and keep, inspiring. Right.
One of the bars I love when you said I like when you said when spill milk but never blame the cow, When the milk spills, what's the point of crying when you got paper towels? I felt that, man. Shame.
No, that's a fact.
I felt that.
That's a fact, man. You got it.
Yeah, man.
You got it, definitely.
Thank you for being, on the Blaze podcast. I really appreciate it, and I wish you much success in your career. And anytime you want to come back on, you know what I'm saying, you're welcome. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's a fact. I appreciate you even having me, reaching out. Like, I appreciate it.
Man. I was like, man, I gotta get Ché on, man. You know what I'm saying? I gotta reach out, man, because I'm really feeling the music, and I wish you the best in all your future endeavors. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate you, man. Definitely. Let's stay in touch. Definitely get another one.
Okay.
Pop another one out. Maybe even later this year if I drop this Lawrenceville, and I'll drop this EP later.
Okay, we definitely will, all right?
All right, I appreciate it.
All right, man. Take care.
All right.
Later. Yeah. Want to thank Ché Noir for being on the Blaze podcast. And before I go, I'm going to leave you with one of my favorite joints off of the As God Intended album with Apollo Brown. This joint is called Money Orientated. Let's go.
But I watch TV, and I see all them people in all them fine homes they live in, and all them nice cars they drive, and I get all full of ambition. And you tell me what I'm supposed to do with all this ambition I got.
Yeah. My mentality is money orientated. I'm destined to live the dream for all my people. Yo, look, paper chase the money, but never pray for money, only pray for wisdom, cause nobody can take that from you. You can always tell the niggas who ain't used to making money, cause them niggas annoying when they finally start making money. Y'all taking pictures of stacks, that's what y'all want me to see? I can count them stacks through this pic, that ain't no money to me. To make 100 legally, that was my first big plan. I quit my job that next week, I made my first 10 bands. Crew of niggas who use triggers just to stop the bullshit. You gon' need God to save your life, cause the doctors couldn't. That tough shit don't mean nothing when they cock and pull it. Toughest nigga in the world still couldn't box a bullet. Yo, I got family that's behind walls and they caged down when in the Christian. Now it's Allah when he pray now. That's when I realized yelling death is where this money don't matter. Can't buy my way into heaven when he judging me after. My mentality is money orientated. Money orientated. My mentality is money orientated. Money orientated. My mentality is money orientated. Money orientated. My mentality is money orientated. I'm destined to live the dream for all my people. Look, you said in God we trust, but I seen God's people sell their soul for you. Good girls turn into strippers on poles for you. You a poor man's dream, but they tie you to evil. That's what Christ told disciples in the Bible they teach you. He tried to give advice to his people. Compare the rich man to a camel through the eye of a needle. You only live once, but if you live it right, it's a sequel. I felt trapped, but this money make my life feel like freedom. You put all the clothes on my back with designer labels. 5-star meals sitting on my plate, you help me by the table. You feel like heaven on earth. It's hard to leave you, but I got to, cause my father gon' expect me in church. Granny said you can't grow money on trees from the earth, but if you could, then that explains why Eve bit it first. That's when I realized yelling death is where this money don't matter. Can't buy my way into heaven when he come for the rapture. My mentality is money orientated. Money orientated. My mentality is money orientated. Money orientated. My mentality is money orientated. Money orientated. My mentality is money orientated. I'm destined to live the dream for all my people who never made it.
Thanks for tuning in to the Blaze Podcast with your host, Kevin Blaze. Tune in again for more discussions on today's pop culture.